From childcare to college to cell phone bills, moms pay a price for their bundles of joy. It's one of the reasons we set aside one day every year to say a big thank you to mom. Coming up tomorrow, of course, and financial professional Mike Koyanen with PreserveYourDollars.com joins us tonight to break down really the price of a mother's love, because there is a price attached to this. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Glad to be here, Liz.
Let's start with that, though, the number. Let's get that out of the way right away. How expensive is raising a family these days?
It is high. It's over $230,000 per child, just from 0 to 17, and that doesn't even include college.
And you know this well because you have 9 of your own.
We do have 9 children, ages between 4 and 26 years old. So we've gone through every stage of raising a child. So.
And let's talk about some of those stages, some of these ways that we can kind of focus on each expense and plan for the future. Starting with babies right off the bat.
Yeah, babies. Diapers, a huge expense, but not anywhere close to the cost of child care. It's actually, child care is equal to the cost of 1 year in a state university right now, about $9,500 a year. So you should look some ways to reduce that cost. Maybe you have a mom or grandma who's semi-retired or retired who can watch your child maybe a couple days a week, or you can switch shifts with your spouse to maybe save $200-300 a month. That'll make a big impact. And
planning ahead for extracurricular activities, which we know can add up pretty quickly.
Yeah, when the kids get older, yeah, they're in sports, and you know, we were a hockey family at one time. So when one child's in hockey,
sport, yeah.
Yeah, when one's in hockey, the whole family's in hockey. So you get not just the equipment, but the ice time and the travel and the hotels. So the unfortunate thing is people are sidelining their retirement because of the cost of these sports are so expensive. So you don't need to be doing that. You should actually step back and maybe choose a different sport or choose one that's a less competitive league, so it's not so taxing on the family finances.
I thought this one was interesting, car insurance, perhaps something we don't think much about, but I know with 2 brothers of my own, I feel like my parents were always complaining about the price of car insurance.
Yeah, we have a 17-year-old driver in the household, and just by adding a teen driver to your policy can increase about 80%, and we saw that. So we have a rule that you have to maintain good grades so you can get that a good student discount. And so the motto is no B's, no keys. So you want to keep at least a B honor roll on that. And we also enforce our children to pay a little bit of their insurance. They shouldn't get it for free. I believe driving is a privilege, not a right. So teach them financial responsibility at a young age.
Okay, and then one, of course, we have to talk about, I feel like it's always the elephant in the room, the price of college.
Yeah, look for some different scholarships out there. You don't have to have a straight-A student child to get a scholarship. There's some goofy ones out there for scholarships for left-handers, tall people scholarships, vegetarian scholarships, things like that. So do your research. You can actually download some apps on your phone to search for different scholarships, and it's okay to have your child work a little bit, a part-time job in college to offset some of those expenses.
And even something as paying a cell phone bill, which perhaps should be treated as a privilege as well these days.
That's right. And the young adults, unfortunately, they're ruining their parents' retirement because 40% of millennials are actually getting financial help from their parents right now. Mostly cell phone bills, car payments, rent. You don't need to be doing that. I have several clients come into my office the last few years, and they've had to work an extra 3 to 5 years just because they've helped out their children too much, and it's affected their retirement dollars.
So do you suggest kind of a cutoff date? You know, I know for me growing up, I think it was 18, you're on your own. I just knew that going into things.
I agree. Nobody helped me in college as well. And you have to look at it this way. If you don't teach them at a young age about financial responsibility and you're helping them out too much, are they going to be there to help you retire later down the line? They're not going to learn that lesson.
Well, I'm sure my parents have helped me beyond 18. Hopefully they're not listening, so they didn't hear that. But thank you, Mike, very much, and a big happy Mother's Day to the mom of 9 tomorrow. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.